Ducklings, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another week, to another day of the World Team League 2023 Summer. Oh, this is not the right. There we go. 2023 Summer Round 8, day number 3. I'm, of course, your host, Light VIP, and with me, I'm joined by the one, the only, my lovely and beautiful plushies, Smooch. Fun fact, this is the first time I'm actually handling WTL all on my own. Unfortunately, both Kuro and Asher are not available today, so here we are. I've got you all to myself, and hopefully we can get through this together. Oh, fingers crossed, baby, fingers crossed. As we are going to be getting into Invictus Gaming versus Berserker eSports, a pretty interesting one. Both these teams are kind of at the lower end of the standings, but they're both fighting for not just WTL points, but also for their overall rankings as well. And I actually don't think it's possible for either of these teams to actually make it out of the group stage and into the playoff bracket. I don't think the math checks out for them, unfortunately, as we only have 3 weeks left. Only 3 weeks are remaining, but here we go. We are diving into game 1 in the top right hand corner for for Invictus Gaming. It is BreakingGG, and in the bottom left hand corner for Berserker eSports, it is Mixu. Oh boy, here we go. So IG and Berserker, I mean, they've both been doing, relatively well for themselves. They've been getting some solid wins here and there when it comes to at least map scores, but they have been struggling overall in the series scores. Fun fact, both of these teams have won 0, though they haven't taken a single series. They're both 0 and 7. So what this means is, this is in a way, a little bit of pride is on the line. Who's going to be at the bottom of the standings? That's arguably what this is about. Who is going to come out on top and who's going to be the 12th team in WTL? So, of course, you do want to avoid being at the bottom of the bracket as well, because you will be relegated, and that means that you're going to be knocked down to Code A in the next qualifiers for WTL, so you're going to be at risk of actually not being a part of the team league itself. So these teams, I want to do their best to be out of, I believe it's bottom 4. I think it's bottom 4 teams are relegated, so they have to be careful. They have to break out of that if they can. It's either bottom 2 or bottom 4. I'm not too sure with that. Here we are in a ZVZ, and so far nothing too crazy. Diving into this series, I have a lot of anticipation here for BreakingGG. I think we have seen a lot of aggression out of BreakingGG, and he feels like almost the polar opposite of Mixu. Mixu is a much more standard player. He's a lot more, I don't know, there's never really too much flair with him when it comes to early pool timings or early gas timings. He's usually much more straight up here, and if he is aggressive, it's off of 3 bases when it comes to maybe a 1-1 roach push or 2-2 or something along those lines. Maybe we cut workers early on, and we go for a certain timing attack. So yeah, until then, we do see both players going for hatch gas pools, Bailey Nest on time, third base on time as well. I'm a little bit shocked by how standard this is, especially from BreakingGG, but alas, we'll see how things do diverge once the third bases get up and running, once the Bailey Nest to finish, and we'll see who is going to be the aggressor here in this ZVZ. Oh boy. See how this does turn out. For the time being, that we go 12 links are on the way for Mixu. BreakingGG is happily droning back at home. Of course, with the Bailey Nest, he will be able to make a couple of defensive Bailings back at home, and it will still come down to the control of the players, whether or not BreakingGG can defend. The Bailey Nest is done. There we go. Bailings are on the way. Mixu is looking to be the aggressor as his link. As his laser moving out across the map. Oh god. I'm back. It's okay. I was just dying. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. As the first baiting does get detonated, but ooh. Yeah, nice control here out of Mixu. Baiting out both bailings, he is able to bypass the army and head out towards the natural base. Solid target firing as well. He does get 2 of those drones, but oh yes, be very careful. Not take those bailings to the face. In the end, we'll back off, and 2 drones is okay. Behind this, he has been happily droning, but so is BreakingGG, so nothing too major. Nothing too major has occurred here, just a little bit of a trade here and there. Mixu should have some bailings back at home, and there we go. They do finish up just in time, and we're able to kind of get into the mid game from here. Both players have been able to, you know, saturate their natural bases at least. We do see Mixu, though, cutting workers a little bit earlier, and I guess this is going to be the next big diversion point as the Banelings, they roll it in, and ooh, BreakingGG once again detonates 2 of those Banelings on only a single Ling. Not the best trades from our red Zerg player, as Mixu is going to be moving out once again with another counterattack. The Ling main, it just doesn't stop. And this third base is looking a little bit exposed. The Banelings are not done yet. The boys are being pulled. The Queen is a little bit exposed. And the Queen will go down, but it looks like the third base should be safe and sound until the Banelings show up. Speaking of, up! Oh no! BreakingGG not quite looking at the time, does take a massive Baneling to the face, and oh boy, thankfully it looks like he will not quite reciprocate. It looks like Mixu was able to avoid that just in time. We trade 2 for 2. Again, a better trade here for Mixu. BreakingGG, he's been struggling to be the defender here, but at the same time he goes for another counterattack. He almost gets us around on the Queen, but no, the Queen does wedge herself in between those mineral patches. Looks like 1 Queen will still go down, or maybe a couple of drones. Only 2 workers here. In the end, it does feel like Mixu has still come out on top here. Just great control here with these handful of Lings in the main base, in the natural, picking off whatever he can. Oh my god, he even snuck a couple of Banelings into the main base of BreakingGG as well. We'll see if they do manage to get any detonations. Meanwhile, Lings continue to flood in towards the third base. We got to surround one of those roaches, but no, we have plenty to fend it off. We do hold on to the third base. At the same time, he's not looking! And 6 drones do go down. BreakingGG has been pulled apart left and right. Mixu on a very comfortable 65 drone lead. Has roaches, +1 range about to finish up as well. And I love this from Mixu. He's going to be capitalizing on his lead right now, and he's going for a Spire. Is it a risky move? Well, it would be if he hadn't already crippled the economy of BreakingGG. Right now, BreakingGG is just focusing on re-droning, remaxing, and Mixu should be safe and sound here to actually get into this Spire. As I say that, Mixu hasn't been droning too much, is actually focusing on a roach army right now. It's possible that he could push out before the Spire finishes, before Mutas hit the field, and Mixu could be in a world of hurt. Oh, let's go! BreakingGG, he recognizes how far behind he is. We have a Nidus on the way. BreakingGG, he's going to be going all in. Mixu has a bit of a smaller army, but it's still pretty comparable to that of BreakingGG. Like Mixu, he hasn't been cutting roaches, he hasn't been too greedy, like he is still making a ground-based army despite that Spire. Oh boy. As Nidus is about to finish up, BreakingGG pushing through the center of the map. Mixu, I don't believe he's spotted it yet, and he is droning a little bit, but only a bit. So we see 1 drone on the way here for Mixu, +2 on the way as well, and 13 roaches. I do think that Mixu does have a large enough army here to go up against BreakingGG despite the Nidus. There we go, the Nidus does go into the main. There is no vision on it. Uh-oh. No vision whatsoever. Mixu has the greater concave, has the Queens coming in from behind. We do see BreakingGG pushing in with some reinforcements, but is going to be zoned away by said Biles. Oh, and Mixu is just diving on this army. He knows he has the advantage. He does take a better fight in the end, but we have roaches slipping into the main base, and they're going to be able to get a couple of drone kills. They even scout the Mutas. And when I said a couple of drones, I should have said 8, 9 workers, soon to be 10 drones going down. A lot of damage is being done here by these harassing roaches. This is enough to even up the worker count a little bit, but we got Mutas. You know, it's not just about the workers anymore, it's about the Mutas, and the Mutas are going to give so much map control to Mixu. They're going to do so much to contain BreakingGG to 3 bases. In the end, 13 drones did go down. We have another Nidus here at the 4th base, but that's going to be going down as well. And thankfully, these Niduses are keeping Mixu busy. The Mutas haven't been able to leave yet. They want to. They want to leave. They want to be active on the map. They want to push out, but no, they're stuck in the natural base. Another roach run by here at the 3rd base of Mixu is going to be able to target down some of these drones. Once again, tying up that worker count. But do we have an answer to the Mutas? Do we have a Hydrogen? I asked this because I wasn't looking, and I don't think we do. Uh-oh. Queens and Spires? What? Spores are what we have to defend here for BreakingGG. Is it going to be enough? As thankfully we don't have too many Mutas, to be fair, but they're still going to find some damage, and oh, these Overlords are left out in the open. They're exposed, they have no pants on, and they will go down. Now we have a Hydrogen on the way for BreakingGG, but this feels a little bit too late, as Damage is being done. He's gonna have a hard time stopping that damage. This hatchery is gonna be targeted down. Ooh. It's gonna cost Mixu a couple of roaches, sure, but does that matter? Because the mutas, they can just punish this move out. As Mixu is being forced back home, and yeah, the mutas, they can just target down every single one of these Ravagers. BreakingGG has nothing to support his army. He's just bleeding out units left and right. We have another Nidus over at the third base of Mixu. Does he see? Does he know? It looks like, oh, he has noticed. There we go. He is going to be rotating his army over. He's going to be keeping up with said Nidus. And this Nidus isn't going to be able to do too much. We commit. Uh-oh. No, Bobby. These roaches are going to be going down. Mixu was able to respond in time. The mutas, they stay active on the map. They're going to be threatening the natural and the main base here of BreakingGG. Hydras should be on the way, but yeah, GG gets called and Mixu takes game number 1. Ooh. GG. Solid game there from Mixu. Very well done in the end. Nothing too fancy out of him. We just saw Mixu trade better in the Ling Bane portion of that game, just out positioning and just yeah, pulling BreakingGG's attention apart. So then when we did get into the Roach v Roach, Mixu, he was up what, 10 plus workers at that point. BreakingGG, he just couldn't really stabilize, or he couldn't do enough counter damage at the same time to kind of justify his worker kills. Of course, shout out to the stray Bailings that did waddle into the main base of BreakingGG as well. Like Mixu, like he was so quick, he was so fast. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful ZVZ from Mixu. But BreakingGG is not going to take this lying down. You know, he is a pretty competitive player compared to Mixu. Like they are, I would say, relatively similar in skill. And even though BreakingGG had a hard time here in game 1, I do think that in game 2 he's going to have a little bit more, what's the word, maybe a little bit more assertiveness. I do think he's going to be a little bit more aggressive overall and look to fight back hard. But what's the map going to be? It is going to be BreakingGG's map of choice. For those who are maybe unaware, the format of World Team League is the initial map is predetermined. Both players, they have a couple of days here to prepare on that map. It was Ancient Cistern for Mixu and BreakingGG. And map number 2 is the loser's pick. So whoever loses that game, it is going to be their map of choice. As we saw, BreakingGG, he is down in this series. It is going to be on him to kind of lay down or decide on the staging ground here for how he's going to start his comeback. Oh boy. And again, this is going to be so crucial as well, because if we look at the lineups, we have XY versus Spatz, we have DIMAGA going up against MacSed as well. It's pretty competitive. Like, I do think that a lot of these players are pretty similar in skill, and every single point does matter. Game 2, altitude? Papi. Okay, interesting choice. Very bold move here from BreakingGG. He is going for the largest map in the map pool. I wonder if he likes the mutas of Mixu and if he wants to make some of his own as well. Very curious, very curious. Altitude, because it's so much larger, it can be so much more difficult to actually get away with these Ling counterattacks, these roach pushes, these run-bys as well. You have so much time to react. You have so much more chances to spot these attacks as well. And you can get away with some greedier play. We have seen Cham time and time again go into 2-base muta on altitude. We have seen Eric as well flaunt the muta play as well. I do think it's a good map for it if we can make it that far. And I'm sure there's more than just muta play. There's Nidus play as well. We could just turtle up and go into, say, Lunkers. I don't think that's really for any of these players. I don't think they're really too keen on that, but and anything can happen. Anything can happen. We'll see, we'll see. Oh, also my background. Oh, true. Hold on. There we go. Oh, there we go. It's always yellow background. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. Oh. But yeah, the players, they are just currently getting ready here in the lobby. Vamonos. The battle at the bottom, fighting to not be last. Oh, you're so brutal, BP son. So brutal, but true as well. Very true. MacSed better not play before I'm able to watch. Oh. We're saving him to the end. With Papi, Mixins, he's gonna be the climax, Papi, the climax. Don't worry, don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there. Shout out to Harfang for the clarification. It's bottom 2 that are relegated, not bottom 4. Okay, so it's bottom 2, bottom 2. So the winner of this series will have a chance at maybe breaking out of the bottom 2 and taking down one of these other teams later on and avoiding relegation. So again, it's going to be pretty damn important as we do get into game number 2. And in the bottom left hand corner for altitude, it is BreakingGG for IG. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Finnish Zerg player for Berserker eSports. It is Mixu. The result is BreakingGG 1-1 Mixu. Both won their first map in WTL. Oh, shout out to Mixu. He won his first game. Let's go. I did not realize that. Okay. So yeah, Mixu, he has taken his first. Oh, meanwhile, oh, my apologies. I was a little bit distracted here, but it was a pool first opener from BreakingGG. I believe it was a 12 pool. So we do have Lings flooding across the map as we speak. Meanwhile, Mixu is going for a hatch gas pool. So this is classic team GP maneuver. BreakingGG is looking to be as aggressive as possible here on the largest map in the map pool, because what are the chances? What are the chances that Lings would be coming across the map? So BreakingGG definitely has a surprise factor on his side, but Mixu does see this coming ahead of time. The Overlord does spot the Lings, and he is going to be able to prepare himself on his side of the map as well. He should be looking to pull the boys. He should be looking to hold onto this hatchery. There we go. 2 queens, 6 Lings are on the way. This hatchery can soak up a little bit of damage for the time being, but boys have to be pulled. And there we go. Mixu does pull all of them bar 5. So 11 workers here on the front lines. Actually, 2 more pulled towards the end. Has to be very careful not to lose any of these drones. Oh, and 2 Lings get surrounded. Aye, not the best start here for Mixu. With that BreakingGG, he's going to be able to snowball out of control. The Lings are going to be going down. The drones are going to be going down next. Oh boy, this is a rough start for Mixu. He has 1 Ling remaining. It looks like he will be able to hold on. Whew. Does lose 2 drones, but that is okay. That is acceptable losses here. He is still ahead in workers. If he had lost 2 more, then BreakingGG would have broken even. But alas, Mixu was able to defend well enough, and now he has full control of his side of the map. Oh my god, is he going to get the Overlord? Up. Oh no! What a mass, Papi. The Queen, it's waddling over. Run away, Overlord, run away. Ah! Up. Oh my god, it made it. Jesus Christ. That Overlord was so tense. Meanwhile, 2 scouting Lings slip into the main base as well. If they want to, they can try to focus on one of these weakened drones. It looks like they will attempt to, but no cigar. They will not get any additional workers here. Mixu does defend in the end. Behind this, BreakingGG, of course, because it was a 12 pool, this means it was a gasless opener. It means these gases, of course, are quite delayed here for BreakingGG, and he's going to be diving into them, or at least walling off, skipping Ling speed and skipping that Baneliness as well. He's going to be transitioning into 2-base Roach, which is the standard transition from a 12 pool, I should say. So this shouldn't be a surprise to Mixu. Of course, the big question mark will be, this could also be 2-base Muta. You know, 2-base play regardless is coming out from BreakingGG, and Mixu is going to be taking advantage of that by taking his 3rd base. So Mixu is going to have map control, he's going to have the better economy as well, but he's going to be in the dark, and it's going to be on him to figure out what's up, what's going on. Oh my god, just barely gets a tumor in time as well. Oh. Again, a rough start here for BreakingGG. We are rushing into the lair. We have 3 gases so far for BreakingGG as well. But he hasn't taken the 4th gas, so this should be for roaches. There we go. +1 range has begun, and yeah, with this, we should be seeing roach speed commencing momentarily. Oh no! As a Ling almost slips into the main base. Oof. And BreakingGG will be taking a much later 3rd base as a result. Likewise, Mixu is taking up into his own lair, should be getting into his own roaches, and yeah, we should be getting some nice roach v roach here in game 2. That Overlord has some pants. Like, what are you trying to say, Papi? So there we go. Third hatchery is being taken here for BreakingGG. Of course, far later than his opponent, and Mixu is going to have just a better economy and better larva to work with overall. So again, he's going to be able to hold on to that for the time being. He's going to be feeling pretty safe and secure back at home to get into his own roaches. Really, I think the big thing that he's going to be concerned about is whether or not BreakingGG actually saturates his third base. He could go for an all-in off of here. He could avoid droning up that third if he so wishes. It is possible for him as Mixu. He catches a queen. Ay, ay, ay. BreakingGG, his queen was heavily out of position, very exposed, does go down, doesn't get the overlord. From here, we're going to be backing off, focusing on droning on our upgrades. We do have 1-1 on the way for BreakingGG, so he's going to have a bit of a powerful 1-1 timing. I believe Mixu only has a single Evo chamber, so he's going to be neglecting +1 carapace, which is okay. +1 carapace isn't the biggest of deals. It's not the most important upgrade at all. Like, it does influence Roach versus Roach a little bit, but not as much as +2 range, for example. As Mixu dives into the main base, just gets an eye on the lair timing, on the gases as well, just making sure there is no hidden tech in the main. Making sure there's no Spire, basically. And from here, BreakingGG finishes up +1. He immediately does start +2 as well, so ooh, such a crisp upgrade timing there from BreakingGG. +2 is going to be like his big power spike, and we'll see if he can hit it, because Mixu is already commencing roach production. You know, he's already at a pretty healthy drone count overall. 3 bases fully saturated, essentially. We should be seeing a 4th base momentarily as well. And yeah, both players are just going to be hammering down that R key, hammering down that roach button. Now, because BreakingGG is going to have a bit of a stronger upgrade timing, Mixu should be playing the role of the defender, should be looking to make sure he's able to survive long enough for his own upgrades to kick in. Oh my god, as the contamination comes in from BreakingGG! Something we didn't see enough of. You'll love to see it. We are going to be delaying +2 even further for Mixu, which means this 2-1 timing from BreakingGG is going to be, or the window is going to be even larger. Before that happens, Mixu is going to be moving out for the time being. Upgrades are even. Oh, Biles will not be getting these overlords, but Mixu is going to be threatening them. It's going to be shocking around the center of the map. Oh boy. BreakingGG now ahead in those upgrades now with +1 carapace. Still a ways off from +2. Oh! As a couple of overlords will be going down in the center of the map. BreakingGG will chase this away, and he will be able to catch a couple of roaches for free. Pretty good pickoffs overall, but as BreakingGG moves out, Mixu moves in. There is a Roach hit squad hitting his third base. There's nothing at home to defend. Ooh, drones are falling, and with such a low worker count, we can't afford to lose workers. BreakingGG, he's pretty all in here with this +2 timing. He's not re-droning, he's just re-maxing instead. Takes a couple of biles to the face, trying to force his way up this ramp. Still no +2 yet. BreakingGG has to be careful not to, not to miss his timing here and not to push in too soon. There we go, he's going to drone up a little bit behind this as well. But this is just a better fight for Mixu. He has more units, he has the better concave, he does dive on top of these Ravagers. Finally, the upgrades kick in for BreakingGG, but at this point, it's a little bit too little too late. Mixu does have full control. The greater Ravager count, the greater Roach count as well. Has to be careful not to push into a concave, to be fair. But BreakingGG, he just cannot push in. Not here, not anymore. And with the death of this army, that's kind of all that BreakingGG has. Like, again, he lost so many workers earlier, he just doesn't have as good of an economy. Oh god! As good of an economy as Mixu. A couple more overlords do get focused down, and BreakingGG has to try to find another way to come back here, go for his own counterattack, go for his own roach run by, whether it's drop-a-lords or burrowed roaches, or it's too late for mutas at this point, but something else. Of course, he can attempt to outposition his opponent as well. 'Tis possible. Once again, as BreakingGG moves out, we have another run by. We have another hit squad. Every time, Papi, every time. Mixu is just there to punish him. Takes down the queen, takes down 5 drones. Oof. And BreakingGG, he turned around. He turned around to defend back at home. And yeah, this is just giving Mixu time to max out. And here we go. 200 supply of Roach Ravager is insane. Speaking of insane, is going to be rotating over towards the center of the map. He's looking for another way in. Mixu has to be careful not to split up his army too heavily here. He doesn't want to fight with only half of his forces. There we go. I believe BreakingGG has the greater number here on the left-hand side. He's going to be able to force Mixu back. Does take a better fight overall, but that was a kill, not a cancel on the 4th hatchery. BreakingGG, though, he does go for his own run-by. He is slowly clawing his way back into this. There we go. He gets 6 drones. He gets a queen as well. Again, Mixu just took a really poor fight at the 3rd base of BreakingGG, but that's a 2nd kill. Oh my god. It's a 2nd kill on that 4th base. Not like this. I want to say that BreakingGG is coming back into this game, but after losing his hatchery 2 times, oh boy, it's still an uphill battle. He's almost there, though. He is almost there. Again, that counterattack did get 11 worker kills, so pretty good damage done by BreakingGG. By our Red Zerg. Meanwhile, Mixu is just pushing on through the left-hand side of the map. Is looking to get on top of this hatchery. And is he going to be able to snipe it? He wants it, Bobby. He wants it. But no, he goes for the army instead. He has the greater concave. He's going to be taking some biles to the face. Oh, BreakingGG, meanwhile, will avoid the biles of his opponent. It looks like he has the defender's advantage. He does clean up Mixu's army. Uh-oh. And just like that, Mixu, he has overextended for the 2nd time. Both times there were fights at that 3rd base where Mixu, he didn't come in with his entire army. He just had a lesser force, and now suddenly BreakingGG has the momentum. He's going to be pushing himself in towards this 3rd base. Upgrades have evened up. Oh, is it going to be enough with the defender's advantage, with the queens, with the transfuse? We have Ravagers, though. As BreakingGG is breaking through, but no, we have reinforcements coming in from behind. It looks like Mixu has defended. Oof. And now BreakingGG, he really wants to force the issue, but it just takes so long for reinforcements to get across the map. Yeah, BreakingGG, he bled out too much. He doesn't have eyes on the 4th hatchery either, so he doesn't know that he has to try to punish it. Oh, but here we go. He's going for his own run-by. He's going for his own counterattack, Bafi. There we go. He's going to be hitting that 4th. Not quite. Never mind. He's rallied to slip into the transferring workers. He's going to get a queen. Maybe a 2nd. Nah, he'll just get 1 queen for his troubles. At the same time, he catches the Roach run-by of Mixu as well. Things are far closer than they ever have been at this point. BreakingGG has a worker lead. We are even on upgrades. No Hydroden, no Infestation Pit, no Spire for anyone involved. It's all about the Roach v Roach. It's all about the positioning, the run-bys, the counterattacks. These 2 roaches from BreakingGG, shouldn't they get 1 drone? They'll only get 1 drone. Not the most effective run by here, but it does keep Mixu busy, as both players are looking to remax. Oof. A couple more Ravagers are on the way, so we can take down those Overlords. And yeah, BreakingGG is going to be able to fend this off once again. The army's out of position. What is that? 3 roaches and a Ravager go down for free. Mixu just being a little bit careless with his army movement. Has to be very careful here. Takes a couple more losses. Like, every roach counts at this point. With both players having such a fragile economy, it's difficult to remax. And here we go. BreakingGG, he's keeping the army busy. At the same time, he sends a Roach hit squad to the 4th base. The Queen falls. drones as well. Mixu, he does react. Oh my god, as he does land many biles to the face here of BreakingGG. There we go. We do see BreakingGG rotating on over. He wants to try to cut Mixu off. Oof. Mixu does get here in time. There was a handful of workers, but only 4 drones go down. Oh, and this is not a fight for BreakingGG. He's going to be taking far too many hits to the face. Good dodges from Mixu. He does avoid the majority of the biles. Not towards the end, but initially he did. And BreakingGG, he bleeds out so much there in the retreat. Aye. And with that, we have Mixu coming in from the front, coming in from behind. He's getting on top of every single one of these Ravagers. The Ravagers, every single one of BreakingGG is being focused down. A rough trade here for the red Zerg player. He's going to try and reciprocate that damage, but it looks like he is being surrounded. He's falling apart at least a little bit. As Mixu is finally going to be the first here to switch things up, we can see, yeah, Mixu, he's lost more roaches. Like BreakingGG has just been taking better fights throughout this game. We saw 2 big fights just go BreakingGG's way earlier. We've seen Mixu bleed out a lot of units. You have Burrow on the way. No tunneling claws yet, I believe. But if that does come into play, then Mixu will have the opportunity to counterattack more often and also to heal up his roaches. As roaches do regenerate HP when they are underground. As we have another counterattack here on the right-hand side. This is going to be creating an opening. BreakingGG has to be careful not to react with too much. As Mixu's pushing in the left-hand side. Once again, Mixu trying to force the issue. Oof. And I don't know if you saw that Mixu actually... I think he just shook his head for a moment. Aye. Maybe a little bit frustrated at the situation. I don't blame him, but... Oh, Burrow is now coming into play. There's no detection for BreakingGG. Mixu can go for a backstab. This army is being forced back. We have 2 roach forces just dancing with each other. Mixu can't quite find a way in, not yet. He does have those borrowed roaches in the middle of the map, which he can send out at any point. I'm keeping my eye on them on the minimap. I'm waiting for the blue blobs to move, Fabi. I'm waiting. Until then, BreakingGG, he's just looking to find his way in towards the natural, but no, both players have now maxed out. Here we go. We do see both players committing here to the big fights. Biles are going to be taken once again. It looks like Mixu has the better concave on the right-hand side. Over on the left, it looks like BreakingGG is forcing his way through. As BreakingGG barely has enough roaches here to take a bit of a better fight. Once again, Burrow does get revealed. Oh, and this hatchery is exposed. Oh, the base survives? What? Oh no. The hatchery does somehow survive, and BreakingGG, oh, he took a really bad fight here to try and snipe that base. Alas, the base survives and he will lose his entire army. Aye. He overextended himself just so he can make sure he kills that hatchery, and it didn't pay off. The hatchery survived. And that may just be game. One big mistake at a crucial moment here may have just been a little bit too much. Mixu has so much more momentum going his way. Up 40 supply. And BreakingGG is trying to remax as best he can. It looks like Mixu isn't feeling too confident. Looks like he isn't aware of the bank of BreakingGG, of what army he's really working with, so he's being a little bit more tentative here. I don't blame him. Here we go. Finally, he's going to try and force himself up this ramp. Pushing up a ramp, though, is always a tough ask. The biles will be avoided. And BreakingGG is diving on top of these Ravagers once again. We have the burrow. We have detection. And, yeah, he just doesn't have the numbers. GG gets called. Mixu. Oh, let's go, Papi. He doesn't just win his first game. He gets his first 2-0 of the tournament. Ah, and takes down BreakingGG. Pretty convincing fashion. GG, Papi. GG. Oh, God. Mixu did have the lead earlier on, but again, we saw some questionable fights. We saw some rough trades where Mixu was throwing away a couple too many roaches at a time, but he was able to stay on top of things in the end. And as things were evening up, and things were even as the game progressed, things were pretty tied up between these two players. We saw that BreakingGG committed so hard to killing that hatchery, and in doing so, he threw away his army, and he didn't even get the base. That was the game-losing move for BreakingGG, and the game-winning move here for Mixu. So GG, well played. Congratulations to our Finnish Zerg player. And a really good start here for Berserker eSports as we're getting ready for our second matchup. And this is going to be spicy. We're getting into XY versus Spatz. Arguably the two ace players. I think MacSed is considered the ace player for IG. But XY is a veteran in the scene. He has a lot of experience. He has a lot of... he's a really solid player overall. He's not the cheesiest of players. Against Protoss, he can be. Don't get me wrong. He can be quite aggressive if he needs to be. But for the most part, there's typically not too much special with how XY does assert himself here. That's why he has the mental of the king. That's why he wrote his book. That's why he has the best mentality in all of WTL. But Spatz is a wild card. Spatz is the ace player of Berserker eSports. He has been really peaking recently in skill, and he has been able to take games in WTL, but he hasn't really been able to really show off as well. And we'll see how this all does unfold. Apparently, the WTL organizers are rating Spatz a little bit higher here in the rankings, maybe giving him some props in the micro, some props in the macro as well. I mean, Spatz, he is, again, I do kind of consider him to be the favorite here, but this could very easily go XY's way as well. Depending on the form of the players, I do think that will impact this series quite a bit on how they're feeling here on the day. That's currently 0-10. XY is 1-13. Oh, there you go. There you go. What am I thinking of with Spatz winning? Am I thinking of like the Code qualifiers? Because I remember Spatz doing well for himself. I think against Mystery Gaming. Let me just double check here. Here, he 2-0'd Quanta in Code A, and he 2-0'd Rewhite in Code A as well. So yeah, I do remember. I mean, we casted Code A here on the channel, and Spatz did well for himself when it came to the qualifiers for Code S. But here in Code S, he has been struggling a lot more. He has been really struggling to really find his footing. But we know that he has it within him. Like, again, on this channel, we were able to see him at his best in the qualifiers for Code A and for Code A itself, and Spatz does have it within him to go toe-to-toe with these players. Just hasn't had the best of luck here in this best of 2 formats, but I'm sure he can bring it back here and now when the team needs him most. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner for Invictus Gaming XY. And in the top left-hand corner for Berserker eSports, it is Spatz. Oh, let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Spatz, of course, embracing the Protoss in the void, in the darkness, where he should be. An interesting green screen is what I must say. Interesting background choice, but, you know, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And we'll see kind of what kind of openers we get into. XY with the mental of the king, with the mental of the strong, is going to be going for a Rax Expand setup. No 2-gas opener here from our Terran player, so going to be going for at least what looks to be a more economic setup. You love to see it. Meanwhile, Spatz just going for a gate scout here. Going to be rushing across the map, trying to figure out what is going on. He will be allowed into the main base. He'll get eyes on the building racks. He'll also be able to see the lack of second gas as well. Spatz is just being as annoying as possible. Forces a couple of extra SCVs pulled. And Spatz is even making that initial zealot as well. So he is looking to be in the face of his opponent. After he does confirm the one gas being taken, Spatz is going to try to go to low ground to delay the natural, but no, the natural is thrown down in time. It will not be delayed. So nicely done here by XY, able to expand on time, on location. Meanwhile, his opponent Spatz, I believe, did make that initial zealot and is going to be moving out across the map. Yep, is going to be moving out here to try and wreak some havoc on that CC. Behind this zealot, we're going to be seeing some other gateway units as well. Oh, as the Reaper here of XY is going to be scouting out the logos. Shout out to the sponsors of WTL. Shout out to Doyu, Hypergriff, TGI Fridays, Taido, and Rio de Janeiro. Without all these lovely countries and sponsors, you know what? WTL wouldn't be a thing. Just wouldn't be around. It wouldn't be as impactful to the StarCraft scene as it is right now. It's been really cool to see WTL grow as a tournament over the years and really just get the attention of such world-class players. Like this season, we even had teams like Shopify Rebellion, like Team Basilisk as well join the fray. We really do have the best of the best here in this team league, and it's something that StarCraft was missing for a long time. After Pro League left, I mean, sure, we had the Caster Civil War, sure, we had the War Chest Team League. That was all good and fun, but after that kind of petered out, we didn't really have too much else. So yeah, it is great to see WTL doing well over in China and getting a lot of support, getting a lot of sponsors. Good stuff, good stuff. Feels good, man, feels good. Behind this is going to be a Twilight Council opener. We have the robot on the way. How many gateways do we have? That's the question. I think we have at least 2 gates, so it looks like it's going to be a 2-gate expand build here from Spatz. Despite it being a Blinkstalker opener, he's not going to be too aggressive with it. The What? The Reaper does attempt to get a bit of a scout off, but is going to be zoned away, and Spatz should be looking to throw down that expansion momentarily. There we go, expansion is on the way. So again, a very economic, safe defensive opener here from Spatz. Not going to be too aggressive at all. And behind this, we see XY just working into his own opener as well, going for his own 1-1-1. Oof, as the Reaper does get sniped in the middle of the map. I think what's interesting to me is that XY is opening up with a mine drop, but there's only a single mine. There we go. We only have one mine in that medevac, so very uncommitted. You may be wondering, is that even worth it? Well, really, yes. A lot of the value from these mine drops, at the highest level of play, you don't really expect to do too much damage. You expect to get like 1 probe per mine. Really, what we're looking for is scouting information. What we're looking for is the follow-up tech of choice of the Protoss. How many gases are being taken, all that good stuff. The mine does get dropped into the main base. Do we have a reaction? No reaction! Up! Ooh. Remember when I said, man, what is one? What am I gonna do? Well, apparently get 6 probe kills. So very nicely done here by XY. Spatz just so caught unawares, not expecting a mine drop opener off of a Rax expand. Was the last thing he was thinking. And this already does pay for itself here for XY. Meanwhile, Spatz is taking up even further. Off of 2 gateways, he went for a Templar Archives, so he's going to be going towards Charge Lots and Archons, I imagine, or at least Storm, maybe his splash damage of choice. Do have a couple more gateways on the way as well. So yeah, it's interesting that Spatz went for basically Storm instead of Robo, instead of Colossus or Disruptors. So this is going to be a very unique style out of Spatz. We do see this from time to time. Obviously, the more quote-unquote meta and the more standard thing is to get into Colossus production and into Disruptors and get into the mid-game. But I appreciate that Spatz is being a little bit more flexible here instead. There's always a lot of potential here with Storm. Oh, as the medevac drop does come back in once again, we do get another bar, but we will not get another shot off. But yeah, it's always really cool to see Protoss players embrace the Storm a little bit more. It's a little bit less A-movie compared to Colossi. It's a little bit more dynamic as well. Always fun to watch. Always fun. As we do have XY setting up for his third base as well. Again, he himself hasn't really been too assertive either. You know, again, the mentality of the King Puppy, all about that macro, as he's been just chilling, staying back at home here on these two bases, is finally going to be moving out. We do have Stim and +1 on the horizon, and those should finish up here in time for this move out. Oh, as he moves out, oh, the Storm drop up. It's not done. Oh, there we go. That was an awkward moment. 7 SCVs go down. The high temp level dropped like 2 seconds early. So they couldn't do anything. They're just looking at the SCVs. But thankfully Storm did finish up, you know, in time anyway, and we were able to get them in the main base. You love to see it. As I assumed XY would be moving out because his third base is so late. Like, his third base is still in production. Oh my god, we're getting an Archon drop into the main to finish them up. Oh my god! But the mine, puppy! The mine, plus the friendly fire though. The mines did kill the Prism, but they also killed 7 workers. So was that worth it? I don't know. As we do get a feedback on said Raven, the tanks are being caught on siege. The High Templar do not have enough energy, but there we go. We do have one Storm. Oh. Spatz does get forced back, but upon killing those tanks, he may be forcing XY to back off instead, as we're still waiting for more energy to be gathered. We have one Storm remaining with the army of Spatz. Zealot Rumbai is going to be sent out at the same time. We're going to be looking to diversify our splash damage. We have a second Robo and a Bay on the way. Remember, we still have that one Storm, but XY is ahead in that army supply. He's pushing himself forward. He's wedging himself in between the natural and the third. And how do we engage with this minefield? The answer is you do not. Instead, we bypass it. The Zealots do get across the map. A couple of these mine shots are being triggered here. And there we go. We have the Storm. Decent connection on the bio army, but there's still so much more. The pre-split is too good. Oh, no! Oh, thank God. As across the map, the Zealots are wreaking havoc in the natural base. The army of XY sims on forward. We're diving on top of the Immortals. One Immortal does go down. Oof. And that second Robo was taken out. The first Robo is depowered. Even with the Bay finishing up, we actually can't make any Colossi. We have to defend with what we have, and it looks like this army is heavily overstimmed. Oof. XY is running out of steam. He hasn't been able to reinforce because of the Zealot run-by, but it looks like he's finally cleaned that up, and now another wave is coming. Spatz has a moment to breathe right now, but only a moment. As XY has returned with more Marines, more Marauders. The Widowmine shots have reset. Now, do we have a High Templar? We have 2 High Templar. I think maybe 3. I think one of them is in the Prism. The army does stim forward. Spatz looking for a better angle of attack, and there we go. We do drop the Storm on top of what little is left here for XY. He is, yeah, being cleaned up. Thankfully, he does have a third base behind this, but for the most part, XY plummets in the army supply. Again, his push was really committed. His third base was insanely late, and on top of that, there was a Zealot run-by that was really crippling his economy as well at the same time. Where is Spatz from? Oh, he's from Germany. He's a German Protoss. German Protoss, man. The city Rio de Janeiro sponsors this. It's a joke. Don't worry about it. Not really, Papi. Not really. But a different Rio does sponsor it. As we do have Liberators sieging on forward here at this 4th base. Once again, we have a pretty decent position here, but there's not a lot of meat to this army. As we have another Storm drop. We just don't stop, Pat. We don't stop. Storm drop is upon us. We have an Archon coming in as well. Once again, the economy of XY is being crippled as we speak. The Archon finishes up, and oh my god. The SCVs, what little was left, do get cleaned up. Uh-oh. The mines! Ah. As the Prism does head over towards the natural base, does take an EMP to the face, but we do drop the Archon over, and oh my god, this is game-ending damage. This is just a little bit too much. We are going to be forced to recall. We do see the fourth base is under threat. We recall the Prism. The Nexus will go down. So likewise, Spatz doesn't have the best economy either, but it is still better than that of XY's. And now he doesn't just have Storm, he doesn't just have Archons, he's got Disruptors, he's got Colossi, he's got a solid foundation to his army as well, with all those Stalkers, with all those Zealots. Spatz has so much going his way. 3 Colossi, what are we doing against 3 Colossi? We've got some libs, sure, but... oh boy, really we only have those Liberators, and did I say, they get sniped. One Liberator does go down, essentially for free. Did overextend, was a good pickoff from Spatz. As we do have a couple of flanking Widowmines coming in from behind. Oof. I believe those 2 reinforcing High Templar were sniped in the middle of the map as well. So nicely done here by XY. Here we go. We're going to be rotating over towards the third base, but the Liberators have already rotated. They've already sieged up. There is no way in. XY, with every second that passes, is gathering up a larger army. We got Vikings on the way. More Liberators as well. More Marauders. Goes for EMP. EMP does end up connecting here with some of those Colossi, but Spatz is going to be breaking his way forward here. The Storms are just far too good. And even though the Liberators have been doing what they can, there just aren't enough of them. GG gets called, and Spatz takes game number 1. Apparently also his first game here in WTL Codes. GG. Berserker eSports, are they going to take it all? Are they going to go for the clean sweep? Spatz, he's 1 game away. He's 1 game away from the 4-0. Can he pull it off? Oh. I think what's important about this is that XY was playing pretty straight up. He was playing pretty standard, but Spatz had some flair to it. You know, I was talking earlier about how Spatz, there's just something about him. He has this I don't know, like this tendency to just do things a little bit different sometimes, do things a little bit more wild. I was talking about DTs, I was talking about ninja bases, and I feel like storm drops apply here as well. Spatz just, yeah, flexing a little bit here in this game, showing off a bit of his personality in the game itself. And now the pressure is on XY. So much pressure is on him, because if he loses this game, that's it. That's it for his team. They will lose this series. He needs to win it here and now to give MacSed a chance. And MacSed has a really good chance. MacSed is a very powerful player in his own right, but he can't do it on his own. He needs support from his team. He needs support from XY. Can he do it? Can he bring it back here when it matters most? We'll see, as his map of choice is going to be Royal Blood. And in the top right hand corner, we have XY. And in the bottom left hand corner, for Berserker eSports, it is Spatz. Let's go, Buck. Let's go. The other thing I just noticed as well, apparently... Okay, we're good. I was like, do we have any other casters covering this? Apparently we do have a French caster as well. Shout out to TKL for covering this in French. And yeah, now we're getting into game number 2. XY did go for a Rax Expand in game 1, just as a reminder. Went for a Rax Expand into a Mine Drop into a 2-base push with 3 tanks as well as a Raven. It was a pretty powerful push overall, but if you remember, Spatz met that push in the middle of the map. He was able to snipe a tank early on. He was able to feed back the Raven as well. Like, before XY could really properly lay siege upon Spatz, he was being just cut at the knees, it felt like. You know, he was just being held off so well by Spatz so early on. It meant that by the time XY's push made it across the map, there just wasn't anywhere near as much left to really break the Protosses. Oh my god. XY's going for the Racked Expand, and Spatz does delay it a little bit here. It does be as annoying as possible with that first probe. Wait. In PvT, the first probe is a menace. It's actually a menace. It's actually out of this world. Out of control. Shaking my head. Oh. As we do have XY just, transitioning from here, throwing down his factory as we speak. Also, is that CC off-center? Was it forced to be off-center? I'm not entirely certain, I'll be honest. Even if it is, I mean, it can be lifted anyway, but something like that can kind of get into the mind, the head of your opponent. Tis possible, tis possible. As, once again, for the second game in a row, Spatz is going to be going for a Twilight Council opener. I think it is off-center, right? It has to be one hex further up? I think. I could be blind. I'm very curious. Very curious. As with this Twilight Council, we should be seeing another Blink opener as well. Meanwhile, XY doing XY things, going for a 1-1-1. Yeah, we did hear the lift up. Yep, it was forced off center. Oh, so he's gonna delay for a couple extra seconds as well as it does reposition and re-land. And we'll see how many gateways we get this time. For the time being, Spatz still only has 2 gateways. Oh, as the Adept does shade on in, the Reaper is across the map, and 1 SCV will go down. Okay, not the best start here for XY. The Reaper forced to turn back around. It does end up running past that Adept, and we have confirmation. I believe that is a 3rd and 4th gateway on the way. So it's going to be a 4-gate Blink Stalker opener from Spatz. This is going to be far more aggressive compared to game number 1. Game 1, it was only a 2-gate opener, so very economic. He got a fast 3rd base, and XY does keep his Reaper alive. He does scout and confirm the lack of 3rd Nexus. So with the lack of 3rd Nexus, it could either be 3 gates Blink or even 4-gate Blink, right? Like, there are a couple of different options here. XY knows that he has to be defensive back at home. Tank production has commenced. Bunker is up and running at the natural. Now, is he going to be in position in time? How many tanks will he have, as he is going to be going, oh my god, for a mine drop that gets caught out? Up, Blink is still not done. The mines are going to be able to just barely bypass those Stalkers and rush on over towards that natural. But Spatz knows, he's aware, and he should be able to pull away in time. What XY is hoping for is that he's at least hoping that some of these Stalkers will be kept at home. But no, nothing is. Bold move, Spatz, bold move. As he moves out with everything he has, he's going to have high ground vision with that Prism. We have a tank at the main, no tank at the natural. We have a bunker at the natural instead. So we have a couple of exposed positions, Spatz, that could take advantage of, but it looks like he's getting ready to lay siege upon that main base. Oh no, he does head towards the natural. And again, there is no tank on the low ground. The bunker is going to be focused down. Thankfully, there's a second bunker. We do have a full surround. We do have a full repair. Up, up. And it looks like the bunker will stand strong. The tank repositions as well, but oh god, these depots are very exposed. And with the death of one more depot, this will be supply blocking XY. At the same time, he does go and commit to the mine drop, but alas, not going to be losing too much. The tank, it does go down on the low ground, but there's another one on the high ground. That tank does so much damage here to these Stalkers. Despite that, these are still vanilla Marines, as we have a Liberator and another mine in the main. 4 more probes, 5 more probes go down. Spatz, is he able to react in time? Oh, not before losing 9 workers in total, and he's forced to warp in back at home. Something that I'm sure he did not want to do. Oh no, another probe goes down. Finally, Spatz can focus once again on his main push. He blinks up into the main. The tank! Oh, another one is going to be going down. A little bit of miscontrol there from Spatz, but yo, he's going to be able to snipe and delay stim. Well worth it here for our red Protoss. Meanwhile, the mine is back. Oh, oh, oh my god. That was so close. The retargeting was real, but only one more probe goes down. And now Spatz, he's dealt with the Widowmine drop. He dealt with the Liberator harass as well. He can focus on his Stalker micro and his aggression as he is going to be coming across this medevac. Uh-oh. We're going to try and pick off whatever SCVs we can, but oh, we're going to lose the Stalker in the process. We get the medevac, so I guess worth it in the end for Spatz. Stim is going to be quite delayed. Without Stim, XY can't really move out. He can't really push right now, so he's stuck at home. Does scan that observer at least, so he's able to, you know, keep Spatz in the dark when it comes to a move out. But Spatz is saturating his third base as we speak. He's working towards charge. He's getting, I think, a couple of sentries out even as well. As we have a Stalker drop into the main. Oh. I was concerned for a moment there. We have Stalker drop into the main base and a couple of SCs will go down. SCVs do fall. And now it's going to be XY's turn to be kind of stuck in his own main base, keeping up with drop harass in his mineral line. How the turns have tabled. Oh, meanwhile, that final depot is going to fall as well. Now, what's important is that eventually Stim will finish. You know, eventually all this will kick in. We also have additional Raxes being thrown down as well. There is no third CC, if I'm not mistaken. So XY, he is set up for a 2-base all-in. Once all these upgrades kick in, like, he is going to have quite a hefty army to work with, and he is going to be sending everything across the map. He may even pull the boys. We'll see. We'll see if maybe he just decides to throw down a later third, which does happen from time to time. But look at those tanks. There we go. There's the Umbaro. There's the salvage as well. Are we pulling the boys? Not yet. Unfortunately, as we do have Spatz slipping in at the same time once again, just as the army moves out. Meanwhile, there we go. The workers have been selected and the boys are being pulled. XY is all in on 2 bases. Trust me, it's you can see it on the minimap. But before that happens, the tanks are looking exposed. There aren't that many Marines. The boys are too late. The SCVs, they show up after the tanks go down. There's only 1 tank left. There are 0 tanks left. But the Marines, they still stand strong. They're pushing on through. They're trying to bust into the natural base. Zealots have arrived, but they're going to be attacking the SCVs, which is less than ideal. Oh my god, we have so many Marines available here for XY. Overcharge is popped. Spatz, can he hold on? I mean, he does have some good blink control. Pylon will fall. Does deny the warp in. Does deny the shield battery. But no, the prism repowers the shield battery. Let's go. Boy on boy action. Probes are pulled off the line as well just to help buffer. But it looks like the Marine army just is too powerful. Has broken the third base of Spatz. And that may just be it. XY still has such a powerful army. Is going to be able to leapfrog towards that natural base. Hot pick up on that tank as well. Keeps it alive. Yeah, and we barely have any gateways remaining here. Oh my god, the choke point is insane. The probes fall immediately, and XY has done it. He is pulling it off here. We were talking about it. The pressure was on him for his team to continue on in this series, to make MacSed's series actually count. As the Zealots are trying to close in on this, the tank is cleaned up. XY is forced back. But he has reinforcements. He has reinforcements, he has mules, he has a higher SCV count than the probe count of Spatz. How does Spatz come back in this game? I mean, he's got a couple of Archons, and Archons, they can definitely swing a fight in his favor. His army is suddenly of higher quality. If he gets a shield battery up and running at his natural, then maybe he can fight with the shield battery. Well, the Archons are revealed. XY just going to stutter step his heart out here with those Zealots. Yeah, this is not a fight to take. GG gets called. XY does it. He ties it up 1-1. Invictus Gaming, they're still in this. GG. Ah. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. GG. XY puts a point on the board here for Invictus Gaming, and this means that it all comes down to MacSed versus DIMAGA. Now, I'm worried here. I'm worried here for MacSed. Some people know him as McSins. I know him as McSins. If DIMAGA wins one game, then that's it. Then Berserker eSports, they win the series. If MacSed wins this 2-0, then we force the ace match. Then we're going all the way to game number 7, essentially. So the pressure is now on MacSed. But shout to XY. Again, he is the king of the mental for a reason. He has a 10 out of 10 in mentality because he is unfazed. The world could be on his shoulders and he wouldn't flinch. He would not even notice. He just plays out his game, cool, calm, collected. He pulls the boys as well. The boys, they were pulled late. It didn't even matter. They got there in time anyway. You know, he cares about his workers. He didn't want them to die in vain. And yeah, with that, he does it all for his team. MacSed, though, is going to be coming out swinging, and this is going to be an interesting one. I do think that DIMAGA doesn't have the best versatility in ZVP. He feels a little bit one note. We talk about it all the time, and I love him for it. Don't get me wrong. DIMAGA, more often than not, he goes for this like 66 drone counts. Actually, 69 drones, actually. Nice. 69 drone count. Roach Ravager all in, where he just keeps sending wave after wave. If the first wave doesn't work, the second wave, maybe the third wave, maybe the fourth wave. And over time, he whittles away at his opponents, and he breaks through their defenses, and he's able to overpower them. But that's kind of, from our experience casting DIMAGA, that's kind of like his go-to, and that's like, he doesn't have much else to him. Like, he doesn't go like Lingbane Hydra into Lurker. He doesn't play mutas. Like, he yeah, he's a very specialized player. And if MacSed has been studying DIMAGA, then he can take advantage of that. Then he can look to overcome that, and maybe look for a bit of a weak point here in DIMAGA's play. Maybe be just hyper defensive overall. Maybe take into Sky Toss off of that defense as well. And then suddenly the aggression of DIMAGA is that much weaker. I'm curious if MacSed has been studying our Ukrainian Zerg player, and if he's aware of DIMAGA's tendencies in this matchup. Catching up in the chat. Spatz means sparrow in English. Oh, there you go. There you go. The more you know, Pappy, the more you know. Let's go. XY will be the first win in WTL Code S. Oh, let's go. He's already got a win, but the team hasn't gotten a win yet. Like, again, we were talking about this before. It's all about who gets their first win in World Team League. Is it going to be Invictus Gaming, or is it going to be Berserker eSports? Oh boy. Well, that's what I mean. Like, MacSed has been doing really well for himself. Like, when it comes down to it, I was talking about this earlier. I was talking about how Invictus Gaming, they haven't had any wins, but they have taken maps, and they've been looking like, a lot of their players look really good, like XY and MacSed specifically. I do think that BreakingGG is Invictus Gaming's weakest point. I do think he is their weakest link, and as a result, they've been struggling to overcome that. But MacSed, he is like a pillar. He's definitely a pillar of Invictus Gaming, and if there was anyone on IG to 2-0, it would be him. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Babylon for Invictus Gaming. It is MacSed, and then the top left for Babylon. On Babylon for Berserker eSports, it is DIMAGA. Oh, let's go, Poppy, let's go. The man of many hats, the man of many jobs, MacSed, aka McSins, is here once again to fix the plumbing. Why does he have to fix the plumbing every week? I don't... I don't know if I should get too far into that with that Asher here. I feel like... Oh no. I'm gonna keep this PG-13. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we do have our ZVP before us, DIMAGA. Looking very red today. Like, typically, I think it's his lighting. His lighting makes him look red, but he's also got a red shirt as well, so it's just all accentuated. Very fitting, I guess, because of his team color as well. Very fitting. Let's go. You wouldn't like him when he's angry, Papi. Oh no. He's going to explode. And we'll see what kind of openers we get into. Again, I'm more or less looking at MacSed more than DIMAGA. Like, DIMAGA, Hedge Gas Pool into a third base, or into his natural, into his third. You know, I don't really expect anything too crazy out of him. MacSed has been showing us a little bit more variety in PvZ recently. I think historically, MacSed is more of a standard player. We don't really expect too much craziness out of him, but he has been showing off some specialized builds, whether it's going to faster glaive adepts to catch his opponent off guard, whether it's maybe being very tech heavy and cutting some corners and going into faster colossi, maybe even double Colossus production into 4 Colossus into a big timing attack. Like MacSed can be quite a terrifying opponent here at times. So we do have to keep an eye on him, as he is going to be going for a Stargate opener. Let's go. I said in the chat, the astronaut, the pool cleaner, the pilot, the gardener, the plumber, the bodyguard. You know who I'm talking about. It's Mixin's, Papi. It's the Emperor Fubel. You're an animal, Papi. You're an animal. Somewhere out there, Asher, he's not here on the casting couch. He's on a different casting couch, and he's watching Mixin's at work. He's watching what he did earlier tonight. Earlier today. Oh. Oh no. It's okay. Ash is having a good time. He's having a good time. He's enjoying himself. And that's what matters. That's what matters. Mixins was enjoying himself as well. There are so many people watching right now. They're like, why are they calling MacSed? Why are they calling him that? Oh, don't worry. it's even if I tried to explain it, it wouldn't make any sense. It's something that occurred the last time we casted last week in WTL. It was just a weird meme that got out of hand, and it's we're all animals. Just know that we're all animals. Aye. I'll be honest, I can't even remember how it started. Why did it start? I blame Asher. Ooh, good move out of DIMAGA, though. With the Ling counterattack, he does force the activation of the Pulsar Beam. So much energy being wasted here already by MacSed, but he does get every Ling, though. I would have liked it if DIMAGA had pivoted away and backed off with his Lings, but he does end up throwing them all away in the end. And behind this, MacSed is getting to his third base. He's getting into a Twilight Council and a Forge. Everything looking very standard here out of MacSed. The most meta of all PvZ builds is Stargate into double Oracle into Blink and +1. Now, we'll see if this is going to be for Blink. This could also be for Charge. Charge.Archon has also been a composition of choice for a lot of different players. It can kind of counter or blind counter a Ling Hydra composition from the Zerg player. But, oh, there we go. It is going to be Charge, not Blink. Interesting. So the dynamic here is going to be a little bit different. So typically when you get, oh my god, as we have a massive gateway explosion, my god, 5 gates thrown down already on these 3 bases. I believe that is, I want to say 7 gates in total as we head towards that Templar Archives. But typically when you go into Blink, you are very early on asserting your map presence. You're pushing out with your first 5 or so Stalkers. You've got Oracles to support them from Lings, and you're kind of pressuring the Zerg player. You're denying creep, you're killing Queens, you're trading with the Lings. This is a little bit different. With Charge.Archon, you're going to be building up this solid foundation, this death ball of an army. Moving on out, and things can escalate very quickly from here as well. The Prism, I believe, is already done. Yeah, and it's going to be moving out here across the map to attempt to harass here on the right-hand side. So we have Adepts on the left. We're going to have Charge Lots on the right. No. An Archon? Okay, we're going to be starting off with an Archon drop instead. I love it. Very offbeat timing here with the Archon drop, but I mean, Archon drops can do so much for themselves. They have so many shields available. The Queens are busy at the natural, and the drop is headed towards the main base. At the same time, a Zealot run by is headed towards the 4th base of DIMAGA. Or 3rd base, sorry. Triangular 3rd. Okay. As MacSed tries to get into the main base, he is going to be deflected. The Queen's in position. DIMAGA defends beautifully here on his 4 bases and does force MacSed away. Shout out to DIMAGA as well. He actually doesn't have too many stray overlords. He doesn't have too many exposed units out on the map, so these Archons are having a hard time finding too much value as DIMAGA has droned up, and we're done droning. We have 5 overlords on the way. We have 71 workers. Now it's time to make nothing but army. Oh, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. There we go. 13 roaches are on the way. Lings and Banelings will be helping to support this army as well. And now MacSed should be taking a defensive position here. If he has been studying DIMAGA, he should know that this is what DIMAGA is all about. It's all about the mid game. It's all about cutting workers here at around 69. We're a little bit over, but it's like he can be a little bit over. It's okay. It's okay. But we're just going to be making nothing but army from here on forward. MacSed, the last thing he wants to do is push out. That's what DIMAGA wants. DIMAGA wants MacSed onto creep so DIMAGA can get a surround with his insanely large army. MacSed, though, he has to respect that he will back off for the time being. He did go into a bay. He's getting to double robot production as well. It looks like we have lost the feed to DIMAGA's room. I hope everything is okay, as we are setting up here with a bit of a placeholder instead. But we have 2 disruptors being made at a time. This is a risky move. Personally, I would have liked Colossi first, just because we have a lot of Ling Bane available as well. Disruptors can work, but as we mentioned many times, disruptors are high risk, high reward. It's all going to come down to whether MacSed can land those Novas, can land those balls. Oh. We'll see if we can pull this off. Meanwhile, DIMAGA has maxed out. Oh, look at that drone count. 68. Well, we did dip below 69, but it's okay. So 68 drones, 67. Oh god, a couple of drones are going down. But do you think DIMAGA is going to replace these drones? The answer is no. The answer is he is hyper-focused on nothing but Ling Bane Roach Ravager production. Or just Ling Bane Roach production even. He has maxed out. He's up in supply. He's looking to crash on in. And even if MacSed survives the first wave, there's going to be a second wave. There's going to be a third wave. The Nova is going to go off on some of these roaches. But look at all the Banelings. There are far too many Banelings here, and it looks like DIMAGA has broken on through. We won't need a second wave. We won't need a third wave, because with the first, we break MacSed. I'll be honest, the first Nova was underwhelming. The second and third, pretty good Novas all around, but it's too little too late. There's nothing else left on the ground. There are no more Zealots, no more Archons. The Oracle doing what it can from the air, but the 4th base has fallen. And DIMAGA, he's not going to stop. He's going to keep on pushing. Stasis Trap will go off. Do you have a couple of Zealots here to defend as well? Nova going to zone away the army. Another Disruptor is exposed. And it will go down. Ooh, both Disruptors fall. MacSed losing too much too quickly. And DIMAGA is looking not just to take this game, but also to clean up this series as well. We were talking about it. MacSed had to take this 2-0. He could not afford to drop a map. And DIMAGA, his one job here today was to take one map, and it looks like he's going to be able to do so. The Banelings, they do crash into that mineral line. MacSed very quick to wall up here at his natural, is making 2 immortals at a time. Oh. And DIMAGA is being forced back for the time being, only for a couple of seconds, waiting for him to remax once again. Another Stalkers! Oof. 2 Stalkers will go down for 3. The 3rd base, yeah, is looking very exposed right now. We have a couple of Archons in position. The shield battery is exposed, and it will be focused down by these roaches. Oh, the Banelings are rolling in! Up! The mineral line! The probes! Oh, we do pull away in time. it looks like MacSed is mustering up a defense, but nah, the Archons fall, the Immortals are falling as well. There is no shield battery, there is no overcharge. We are out of energy on said shield battery, and GG gets called. Ugh. Kung Fu Cup as well. So, you know, these wins, they do amount to something. And I'm sure if DIMAGA can, he wants to flex his skill even more here. And MacSed, his map of choice will be Ancient Sister. Oh boy. MacSed is tired from his prior activities. Oh, true. It's okay, Papi. It's okay. See, Saints in the chat. Damn, I thought we were playing later today. Go Berserker. Oh, let's go, Papi. They took your energy and they used it well here. Oh boy, they did it, Papi. They did it. DIMAGA is the Swarm. He is. He is. Again, when it comes to a Zerg player that thrives in the mid game of ZVP, DIMAGA is like the player, the face that comes to mind, is what I should say. He's just so vibrant in the mid game of ZVP. He is just in his home, in his element. Give this man 69 drones and he can make some magic happen. He can go toe-to-toe with the best of them. He can take down even the best Protoss out there. But here we go. We have in the bottom left-hand corner for Invictus Gaming, MacSed. And in the top right-hand corner for Berserker eSports, we have DIMAGA. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. Oh, the cams are back. Oh, the cameras have returned. It looks a little bit stuttery though. So yeah, it looks like maybe DIMAGA's you could be thinking, yo, are his pupils like teleporting around? We don't have a lot of frames on DIMAGA's camera, unfortunately. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, we may lose his camera shortly once again. Hopefully this latency, it does seem to be a latency issue. Hopefully it doesn't affect the game. If it does get too bad, we did see that DIMAGA will of course turn off the camera, and we do have a placeholder just in case that does happen. So yeah, hopefully the game itself is okay. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. As we are going to be getting into this. So far, a Hatch Scouts pool here from DIMAGA. Nothing too crazy. Is forced to take the unnatural natural, as to be expected here. MacSed does deny him. But, you know, it's nothing too crazy. It's kind of what we expect here at this level of play. And yeah, hopefully everything's okay with DIMAGA. He looked a little bit frustrated there. Maybe because of the internet. Maybe because of the latency. But again, if there is any issues, I'm sure they will be pausing. I'm sure they will be looking to fix things up. Give the player some time to make sure that everything is going well. As behind this, I'm sure MacSed is going to be going for another Stargate opener. He was trying to get into the mid-game earlier in the game number 1, and he just wasn't able to get into the swing of things. I did mention before that I wasn't too sold on the Disruptor follow-up from MacSed. As we saw, like, it's very high risk, high reward, and the first Nova didn't really get too much damage. I think he got like 2 roaches, I think, and that is nowhere near enough if we want to defend against the swarm that is DIMAGA. So, yeah, definitely a bold move from MacSed in game number 1. We'll see what how he adjusts here in game 2. Oh. As he is going to be just going for that Stargate, as we saw. There we go, Oracle first as well. So everything is looking just like the previous game for the time being. Everything is looking once again standard, and that's kind of what I expect. Like when we saw MacSed go for Ancient Sister of all maps, I'm sure what we really expect to be seeing is MacSed just wants to get into the mid game. He wants to get into a longer game. He wants to be left alone. He wants his opponent to back off, and yeah, this map makes plenty of sense for that. It is a much larger map in the map pool. The bases are arguably more easier to hold onto, as well as there are plenty of avenues to wall off at both the third base and the fourth base as well, more so than say altitude, for example. So yeah, MacSed just wants to solidify himself here and fight back for himself and his team. Let's go. until then, we're just going to be chilling. And, ooh, we actually have... Okay. I was like, we have a relatively fast Twilight Council already on the way. But there's the Twilight Council, there's the Forge. Coming out from MacSed. If I'm not mistaken, did MacSed only make one Oracle? I'm very curious if he committed to the second or only made one. Because that would explain the faster tech here from MacSed, as he's just chilling here back at home protecting his third base. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he only made one, which is crazy. So that means that he's going to be leaving DIMAGA to his own devices. It means DIMAGA is free to drone to his heart's content. There isn't going to be much aggression at all. We have one Oracle moving out, but what is one Oracle really going to do? We don't have that one-shot potential, not anymore. It's so difficult to find damage here, or really he shouldn't find too much damage as... Yeah, the Oracle is pushed away. So MacSed gives up on harassing initially, and he's going to be relying a lot more on a much faster charge and +1 timing instead. We already have that Prism on the way alongside that Templar Archives. So MacSed, he's kind of racing his way into this army composition. I'm curious if he wants to be aggressive, but we haven't seen the Gateway Explosion. That's the thing. So I don't think he... I think he just wants to be active with Archons once again. That is my assumption, as the Lings do slip into the third base. They're going to surround the shield battery. Shield battery is going to be going down. Ooh, and a couple of probes get target fired as well. Nicely done here by DIMAGA. He does get one probe alongside that shield battery. The mass zealots have been confirmed, so DIMAGA once again is aware that it's going to be a charge shot Archon composition, not Link Stalkers. Ooh. As these Lings are getting so much value for themselves, another couple of probes, 2 zealots as well. The Prism is moving out, and yep, there are the High Templar again. So just like the last time, we are going to be active with these Archons, looking to pick off some Overlords, maybe a Queen, maybe some drones. Back at home, MacSed does have a very different transition. He has an Immortal first, and there's the Bay, there's the Robo. This shouldn't be for Disruptors, but we'll see. We'll see what he goes for. Again, like, I'm looking to see any adjustments from MacSed, and the first one is that he only made one Oracle, sure. But what else? Oh no, he's rallied in! Jesus. One hit away from going down. MacSed does barely escape with that Prism. Oh god, not a good start here for MacSed. He rushed into these Archons to get some harassing damage, but alas, they haven't really done much at all. Meanwhile, DIMAGA is almost at that peak drone count. 61 drones is what he has right now. He can go for another wave of workers before really committing here to just making nothing but army. But now he's setting up for a bailing run by instead. Disruptors are on the way, so MacSed, he believes that really he just needed more time, more than anything here in that last game. He's going for the same style, the same composition. Disruptors are being made 2 at a time. I'll say that. Disruptor and Immortal, to be fair, so he's actually mixing in Immortals earlier on, which I do appreciate here from MacSed. It does mean that he will have more solid army against roaches, a safer army. There we go. We already have 3 Immortals. This will work quite well here for MacSed. Well, this should work better, I should say. As MacSed is still trying to be active here with that drop. It's getting some tumors here and there. DIMAGA looking to max out. Does get eyes on the 4th base. Still making nothing but Lingbane. Trying to keep his army hidden. He does pull the army over to the right-hand side. The rest of DIMAGA's forces setting up outside the 3rd. And here we go. We are going for the surround. Hard pick up there from MacSed. He does save his Archons. But the Bailings, they get such juicy connections on those Zealots. Oh my god. Nova will go off and does connect with the Morphing and Bailings here of DIMAGA. So good connections here from MacSed. He's going to be able to hold. Yeah, the Lingbane gets cleaned up and the Roaches do get forced back. A much better fight for MacSed. Oh my god. Even catches some more of these mispart roaches. We're going to see the Nova. Oh. We're not even going to need to here as more roaches get shaved off. And unfortunately, DIMAGA, he cut drones earlier, and there we go. Now he's making 4 drones. He doesn't have the best economy to rebuild his army, unfortunately. He is at least keeping MacSed on 4 bases, but yeah, he was relying so heavily on the Ling Bane. Meanwhile, the Banelings are rolling in towards that 3rd base. Boys are being pulled, and it looks like they should be saved. At least most of them. 10 workers do go down. DIMAGA now has reached that juicy 69 drone count point. You love to see it. Now can focus on remaxing once again, rebuilding his forces. Catches some zealots here on the right hand side. At the same time, we have another army harassing that 3rd. Oh, not the best movement from DIMAGA. He takes a massive Nova to the face. Oh my god, DIMAGA is falling apart. This game, he just hasn't had the best army movement. As we can see, look at how much gas has gone down the drain here for DIMAGA. And at this point, I feel like he should back off. In a sense, like I feel like he should back off, actually remax, actually get a high enough army supply to snowball, and maybe even hope that MacSed pushes into you. Because look at MacSed's army. He's got, oh my god, 8 Immortals, 7 Archons, 3 Disruptors. Like, MacSed's army is so beefy. It's so heavily fortified. Like, pushing into this when it's got a defensive position with shield batteries and a Nexus, like, that's not the plan. We want MacSed to push out onto creep. And to be fair, he is now, but I don't know if DIMAGA's really ready for this. God, look at that. As Baneling counterattacks do get quite a lot of economic damage done. The Roach counterattack as well. 14 probes do go down. But MacSed may just have too much. He has the death ball that he's been waiting for. He's even looking to catch some of these transferring workers. And oh my god, the Archons are going to go ham here at the 3rd. Oh, look at how many Overlords go down. DIMAGA is supply blocked, and he's not going to break out of this anytime soon. 9, 11 Overlords go down. 12, 13 Overlords in total. The Nova goes off, connects with the Roaches and the Banelings, and now there's almost nothing left here for DIMAGA. MacSed fighting back hard. He may not be able to do it for his team, but he does it for himself. As MacSed annihilates the army of DIMAGA. There is nothing left. GG gets called, and MacSed puts a point on the board for himself, but he shakes his head at the end there. It wasn't enough for his team, wasn't enough for IG, but at least, you know, he ties it up. GG. GG, well played. With that, Berserker eSports, they still take the series, but it's going to be a 4-2 instead of a 5-1 or anything like that. They do take it in the end, and with that, GG. We have our first series in the books. Coming up next, in 2 minutes, we're going to be taking a short break. Take this moment to hydrate your Hydras, stretch your Roaches, massage all your Marines, and watch some Mixins in the downtime. Give them some support. When we return, Platinum Heroes going up against the Starving Camels. See you soon. See you soon.